We can hear it. All right.
I'll be listening to it and make the adjustment if needed, Patrick. I'm gonna listen to it on the feed here and make the adjustment. All right, all the feeds are up. Facebook, everything is running.
Okay, good. Oh, yeah.
I don't have no feed. Oh, I know why.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I believe. I believe in you. Wow.
Bring it up. Bring it up.
All right, great. All right. I fade the music.
Your phone's ringing. Put your phone on silent. Go ahead, Pat. Talk. Pat. Patrick. Start talking.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to each and every one of you.
Is he still playing the music?
Testing, 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 testing. Okay, we're ready. We're ready. Welcome to Patrick Henderson's Meet the People on WLB 10T Baltimore. Could you bring the music down? Testing, testing. 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 Testing.
You're up. So I don't know why he's not.
Testing. 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 Testing, 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 testing. Welcome to Patrick Henderson's Meet the People on.
What is it doing?
Well, we can't hear anything but the music. Could you stop the music? Welcome to Patrick Henderson's Meet the People. Sorry for all the technical difficulties we're having. I'm all wired up. I'm here in my home, and with the coronavirus I'm all about everywhere, we can't come into the studio anymore. So we thank you all for those of you who are listening in and praying for each and every one of us. Thanks for the engineer. This is all new to them too, and a lot of technical difficulties, but hopefully we'll get this ironed out. As long as you can hear me and I can hear you, then we can communicate. Please welcome my producer and co-host, Jason Rodriguez. How are you, Jason?
Good morning, everybody.
He's there. Didn't hear him. How about Doc Cheatham? Is Doc Cheatham there? God bless you all. And my sister Lamitra from Dallas is there. Lamitra, are you there? I know, man. I tell you, it's in the air. But here we are. Here we are in the presence of God. You know, the light of God surrounds us. The love of God definitely enfolds us. The power of God protects us, and the love of God watches over us. Wherever I am and wherever we are, God is. God is. God bless each and every one of you right now. We were waiting for Richard Terry to call. I don't know why he hasn't called in, but we're going to say a word of prayer right now and bless God for this day. If you're near radio, if you want to touch the radio or your phone or whatever, if you're driving, don't do that. But we want to just touch and agree. Right now, oh God, our Father, Lord, we love you. We love you. We love you today, oh God, because you love us in such a special way, oh God. Asking you right now, Lord, to touch each and every one of us, oh God, those that are home, those that are in fear, oh God. Allay their fears, oh God. Relax them, oh God, and give them your peace that passes all understanding. For you have not given us a fear, a mind of fear, but you've given us a sound mind. And we stand on you right now as we never have before, oh God. Through all of this chaos, all these things we don't understand, we ask you, oh God, right now to touch this nation, touch this city. I don't know who's making noise, but please, whatever you're doing, we can hear it on the line. Please, Lord, touch us right now, oh God. Help us, give us peace, oh God. Take away the fear, oh God. Those that are sick and don't know what's going on, that don't know what to do, oh God. Show them the way, oh God. We know that prayer is spiritual therapy, so, oh God, we're praying to you and asking you right now, in thy Son, Jesus Christ, now, the Prince of Peace, to come in, oh God, and give us that break that we need, oh God, to just let us know that we have nothing to fear because we are yours, each and every one of us, no matter who we are. We thank you for this time today. In thy Son, Jesus Christ's name, I pray. Amen and amen. Amen. Well, okay. Hi, Richard. How are you? Richard, how are you? All right, well, that's good. We're going to keep going here. We've lost a lot of time this morning. And the first thing I wanted to do, Jason normally gives us some statistics about the latest deaths and what's going on, but I want to read something to you all. I'm dropping off.
It sounds fine.
Uh,
I'm monitoring it on.
okay, it's come to this. This is from the White House. The next 2 weeks are important. White House coronavirus response coordinator Deborah Birx said Saturday at a press conference, "This is the moment to not be going to the grocery store, not going to the pharmacy, but doing everything you can to keep your family and your friends safe. The coronavirus is expected to peak over the next 2 weeks. Already, the U.S. has more than 312,000 confirmed cases. That's confirmed and tested and certified. And an unknown number of asymptomatic people who have the virus. The U.S. now has more than 8,500 deaths." Did y'all hear what they said? There's what? What is that? What is that, Richard? Yeah. So? Yeah. And but they were already yeah. But they were already dying, Richard. Yeah. Yeah, but they were already dying. How many malls have we had here to die? Right here in Baltimore. So they were already dying. Yeah, right. So all over the nation, they've been dying. So that's nothing new. It is going to hurt the economy because people won't have money to spend. It's going to hurt the economy because gas prices are down in the tank right now. You're going to have to worry about that. But other commerces, other ways of living are going to be hurt. Biggest thing that's going to be hurt is being able to get your jobs back and being able to go to work and feel safe doing it. So, but the word is don't go to the. Go ahead. Yep. Right. And this is really nothing new. Right. I agree, but we can talk about the economic tolls, and especially now, Doc. I read that article or the information you sent me about the census, and which is basically what you're talking about now, is that area does not have these markets. I'm wondering what the response was. Did people fill out the census in the years before? How did they get to this point that they're not representative and the things that should be vital to them are not coming? What do you call it? The enterprise zone, I believe you called it. What's the name of it that you all are not? Opportunity zone. Do you think that that's the reason for that? Please, if someone has someone else in the room, go ahead. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. 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 Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. But you weren't. Mm-hmm. Uh,
That's where you get funding. But
uh-huh.
the Census Bureau wrote a listing of 50 items that benefits communities through the census. We
Uh-huh.
documented. We went to the White House about a month and a half ago, and we showed them the documents that prove that in my community, I can't talk for others, but in the Easterwood Matthew Henson community, there are 50 things that are listed that should benefit your community.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
44 of them did not benefit us.
Uh-huh. Wow. I know I read that list, and when I looked at it, I just wondered how it got to that. And that's the question I'm asking you. How do you think was
How
it?
did our governmental officials deal with that issue?
Well, I'm not. Hold up. Let me finish my question, Richard. We know how they didn't deal with it. That's obvious. They haven't done anything. I'm wondering how we got there.
Right.
You know, how did we get there, Doc?
We got there the same way that certain communities were, what we call it today, they were redlined. That certain communities were redlined, and you could only have a certain percentage of African Americans in certain communities. Reservoir Hill, Mount Royal, and Roland Park were the three documented by Antero Patello.
Ah.
That was in the 30s and 40s.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And
Wow.
we're seeing now in our studying in our community to realize what we don't have in the community, we were able to discern that this was during the same period of time as Antero Patello wrote. Not in my neighborhood. There was another writer who wrote The Lines Between Us that also exposes Baltimore City's racism. The other book is called The Ghost of Johns Hopkins.
Right.
These books basically spell out that the city mothers and fathers of Baltimore, the mayors and the city council, had specifically wrote ordinances that discriminated against blacks and Jews.
Wow.
We're in that neighborhood. We're in the Easterwood neighborhood that was 95% Jewish back in the 1940s.
Wow. 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 That's just amazing, because you would think that the Jewish people would have had more power to keep things like that from happening, but they obviously didn't. You know, that's
Well, you know what happened?
what.
Right where the community that I'm in, Matthew Henson, has 3 former Jewish synagogues here.
Right.
Our Jewish brothers and sisters, when they left here, you know where they went?
Yeah, to
They
Park
went to
Heights.
Upper Park Heights.
Right. 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 Right.
And then as everybody claims it was Clemenza who said it, but it really wasn't Clemenza and the Godfather. It was Giuseppe who said it, and that was the cliche, give it to the niggers. They don't have any souls.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's happening to my community in another instance that I shared with Patrick as well. We got dirt coming from Ashburton coming to the low-income neighborhood of Easterwood. Mm-hmm. They're taking the dirt from the Ashburton filtration plant up on Liberty Heights.
The reservoir.
And bringing it through a residential community.
Yes. I know.
When did they start doing that?
Oh, well.
About a week ago.
Yeah. I see them loading.
We got 40 trucks. We got 40 trucks coming every hour back and forth down Baker Street, coming through the upper part of the Freddie Gray riot area, and they're coming through. They're taking the dirt from the Ashburton filtration plant where you see up on Liberty Heights. They're bringing 40 trucks coming and going. They've been doing this for a week. Last week we caught them riding through our neighborhood with no tops on top of the truck, so the dirt was just flying all over the place. We've written to every city official that we have, and not one of them is willing to address this because they are part guilty that this is happening to a residential neighborhood. You're bringing dirt to a neighborhood.
Did you contact the mayor?
We contacted the mayor, the president of the city council, the controller, our city council person, the Department of Public Works. We even called 311 on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. On Saturday, they said to us, "Oh, the city isn't open yet." So we've already started calls this morning and said, "Y'all got to do something about all of these trucks coming through a residential neighborhood."
Wow.
This is what they do to poor communities, black and white.
Wow, this is terrible.
Little Amber. Amber on the floor.
Oh, okay. Wow.
That sounds horrible. Y'all gonna have to fix it.
Well, but you know what happened was Christopher Irving, who's running, I believe, in the 7th district, they were doing that up there in Howard Park, bringing those trucks up there, and he stayed on it long enough that they stopped him from doing it and stuff. So I know that there has been, maybe you might contact Christopher Irvin if he's listening. He can't call in because he's a candidate, but I know he stopped them from doing it up there in Howard Park. So maybe there is some hope or some help. And those of you in that district, y'all need to elect Christopher Irving because he's the only voice y'all got up there at Park Heights area. He is the only person that is consistently on this. Well, do we want to talk?
I hope I don't get myself in trouble by saying this, but it seems like there are only certain shows that can have candidates in, but there are other shows that can have candidates coming in. I listened to a show earlier today. I know I heard at least 3 candidates call in.
Yeah. Well, the contention is that they are on longer hours, and so they can get all the candidates in. But since the election has been extended away until June, there's plenty of time to get everybody in. But I don't make the rules, but we have to follow them. So it's what it is. I want to know what you all are thinking about this coronavirus. Are you taking it seriously? Are you really are paying attention to what the news is saying? You know, sometimes we have a false sense of security, thinking that God is going to take care of us. But even the Bible says to respect those that have authority and to give to Caesar what is Caesar's. So in our homes, is there a relative that we're not sure of that might be sick? Are we isolating them? Are we going in there showing how much we care and love for them, letting the children go in there? Because what we don't know is a lot of people have the virus, but they're asymptomatic. In other words, they have no symptoms of it, which is why they're shutting down going to grocery stores and pharmacies over the next 2 weeks because the virus is peaking. I'm just wondering if we have...
I can barely understand what he's saying, Jason, so...
Okay, he's fixing...
It is an awful connection. I don't know about y'all, but even the radio is not coming over well.
Okay, let's see here. We're having some technical difficulties. Please, can you hear me better now? Can you hear me better? No? They say they still can't hear us any better.
It sounds like you're stuck in a time warp or something.
Oh, it's a time warp, Jason. All right, well, go ahead. Did y'all hear my question?
It sounds like he's in a vacuum because I'm getting feedback.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you go outside, then?
You think if I go outside, Jason, it'll be better?
No, we'll try switching channels.
Okay, he's going to try to switch in the channel that I'm on. Maybe I should sit it a different way. But I want to know, what do you all... Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Testing. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
No.
No, they still can't hear me.
Gentlemen, let's realize no matter which way we go, we've got problems. on all sides.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
people who called
It's
in
now
sound
a
fine,
question
but
of
Patrick sounds horrible.
Okay.
yeah. Right now we got problems on all sides.
Yeah. We do.
Our question now is, how do we address it?
Right. Right. That's what I was getting
Yep.
to.
What are the solutions?
Yeah. And what are your suggestions, Richard? Richard, what?
What's my suggestion?
Yes.
That's a good question.
Well, all right.
Hopefully, by the time this election comes in, we can get rid of all of the problems and then try to start afresh.
Yeah, I think it's an opportunity. I do too. Yes. And you shall know them by
What are
the.
churches? What are mega churches? Aren't they involved? They're not involved at all?
Well, they are, but they can't gather people. Nobody can come to church and stuff. So then what can they do? Like for this past Palm Sunday, my church, Good Tidings.
No,
Can you hear me?
I'm not talking about corporate worship. I'm talking about towards giving food away. I'm not talking about corporate worship. I'm just saying they can give food away
Yeah. Well,
in those areas.
well, Doc, can you address that? Doc? Hey.
Right now, I think there's another part to this. Money's involved.
Yeah.
And big money moving all of that soil out of there.
Yeah.
They're not really caring about what they're doing for people.
Right.
It's what they're doing for the government and how to make money out of it. That's what all of this is they're dealing with.
Well, I agree with that.
It's always been that way.
Well, it has been that way. And can y'all hear me better now? Can y'all hear me?
What's that?
Can you hear me better? I guess they can't.
Patrick, I couldn't hear you.
Okay. Doc, are you there?
I am here. I hear Richard extremely well, but I don't hear you well at all, Jason. I don't hear Jason at all, and Patrick, you're breaking up constantly.
Okay. All right. I wonder if I should call back. We would lose the line if I call back, right? And call on the other line.
No, just call back in on a regular line.
On the regular line, that's what I'll do. All right. Y'all keep talking. Y'all keep talking.
Tell you what, I'll clear a line so Patrick can come in much clearer.
No, you can stay online. I got a free line now that he can call in on.
I think the question that Patrick had given us, what do we do, where should we go from here? I would say first and foremost, the advice that's being given to us by the two medical people, and I'm putting special emphasis on the two medical people, Dr. Fossey, I may not pronounce his name right, and the white female medical doctor. I think they have been basically on point since the beginning.
Okay, because I just got a busy signal.
Other folks that the president has been bringing on, he needs to get rid of all of them because they keep changing the stories as much as they are days. I think the message coming from...
We just lost him completely. Can't hear Doc anymore.
That's because I'm calling the regular.
Okay.
I think it's not you. I think it's on
That phone?
the line. Yeah, on their line.
Okay.
B.
Okay, that's me. It's Patrick.
It's Patrick. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm about to bring you on now.
Okay, yeah, he said he can hear me. Yeah.
All right, there's something. Let him know
of all of these cloths, because the cloths seemingly we've seen on some shows.
Gentlemen.
We got him back.
Hey,
Yeah,
Patrick,
I'm here. This is interesting. Are the lines full? Can we start taking questions from the callers?
Yeah, we got one online now.
All right, let's hear from him.
Yeah, there's something wrong with the line. That's not us.
All right, I brought up your caller.
Welcome to Patrick Henderson's Meet the People. You have a question or comment, sir?
Yes, yes. How you doing, Patrick? This is Smitty.
Hey, Smitty.
How's everybody? Doc, keep on fighting. It's going to be a hard challenge. You know, this is what we do all the time. But one of the things I want to bring to perspective is that we got to keep in mind that we have people who are in their homes and their kids are eating them out of house and a home. And all of these things, people are not clear on resources.
Right.
And the government is not making resources available. These creditors like phone company, your gas and electric company, also your mortgage people, also your landlord, if you're renting, there's going to be tax credit breaks for you. But don't take the last penny that you have in the house and pay a rent right now until you need food in your house.
Right,
we got to think through the system.
Yes.
And understand that we got to put our families first. Sure, you have a mortgage note, but this is a pandemic. This is not something that you put on yourself. This is something that everybody is faced by, and the government needs to step up to advise people to let them know we got people who are trying to pay a rent and they need a prescription.
Yes, but you know what? The landlord can't evict you, and neither can the mortgage company. A lot of people don't know that, so thank you, Smitty. You're absolutely right. Don't worry about paying the rent right now. They cannot evict you. I think it's for 2 months they have to let you. Your mortgage, they can't even charge you late charges right now because of the new law that went in.
We got to get wise.
Yes.
We got to get wise, Patrick. We got to understand that you got to put yourself first in a pandemic.
Yes, sir.
It's not about who you owe. It's about putting your family first. Get your children food. Get food in your house.
Yes.
There will be mortgage programs coming down. There will be incentives coming down to help us in this pandemic.
Yes, sir.
But right now, everybody needs to focus their attention on taking care of their loved ones. Make sure the seniors that are in their family get the medication. Don't hold the money up and deny them medication because they have an obligation of a rent or a gas and electric or a
That's
phone.
right.
Put them first.
Yep, that's absolutely right. Thank you so much for saying that. They cannot evict you. Nobody in this city can evict anybody out. Like I said, your mortgage payment can be laid up to 2 months right now because that was part of the legislation that they put through. So he's absolutely right. But the other thing that you all must remember, if a member of the family is acting poorly, coughing, and has a fever, you must isolate them. I know it sounds cruel. We're not like that, but if you go in that room, then you're going to expose yourself and your whole house to it, and that's what you don't want to do. Don't let the babies go in there. Some people think the children can't catch it, but that is not true. A 5-year-old died, I believe, last week in New York from it. So it's not true, but he's absolutely right. Don't be worried about paying no bills right now. Just be worried about taking care of you. That is the most important thing. 410-481-1010.
The pandemic is something that no one on this planet created except for those who know they created it. But the rest of us, all of us are suffering from whatever they did. But we got to be mindful that the most valuable person right now is you and your family.
That's right.
Take care of your family.
That's right.
We got to go to break.
All right.
God
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Smitty.
You're welcome.
WOLB Baltimore and WERQ-FM HD3 Baltimore.
The views and opinions of the guest and host you hear on 1010 WOLB
are not necessarily those of the staff and management of Radio 1, its sponsors, or advertisers.
It's done unto you as you believe.
Welcome back. 410-4.
Y'all back up.
Okay. Welcome back. Please, you're listening to Patrick Henderson's Meet the People. Call in 410-481-1010. If you have any questions about what's going on in the city with the coronavirus and you need help or you need somebody that needs food or something, please call in. Don't be embarrassed, y'all. Right now ain't no time for pride. It's no time. Put your pride aside. Let us try to help each other. Everybody knows somebody that's doing something. And if we don't know it, we will find out. But if you know something that you feel like needs to be shared, please call 410-481-1010. Or if you're coping with this
I got a
virus.
caller now.
All right. Let's hear from our caller. Welcome to Patrick.
Hey, hello, how you doing?
All right, how you doing? Do you have a question or comment?
Comment.
Go ahead.
So I think a lot of people is being naive about a lot of this that's going on. If people think that after this that life is going to continue the way that it was, I think they're being naive. Things will never be the same. This thing isn't going anywhere. Personally, I believe that it's always been here. It's just to the point now that they can't handle it. Because me and my brother a few months back he had pneumonia real bad, and I have asthma real bad. And for the first time in my life, I had 5 treatments with 2 steroid shots, and they kept telling me that it was my asthma, but I completely couldn't breathe. But the worst part was, after my asthma, my body just went through, I just felt so terrible.
Wow.
So this thing been here, and these people trying to act like it's something new, and I don't trust the government and the things that they say. Look, you have to be, the sister, or somebody was speaking about markets and not going to market. Well, everything, you're not going to be able to be with nobody at large gatherings.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Whether that's the everyday life, Patrick, that we was living.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be like that anymore. You know what I mean? And the economic crisis, I mean, the definition of a recession is 2 quarters without continuous growth from the government.
Right.
Right? That's a recession. A depression is 4 months. Now, they talk about they don't even know how long this thing going to go along. So we on the line of we're going to be at a depression.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now I know. Yes, sir, I do. So you're saying, well, I want to ask you all this. I read an article last night that contends this 5G stuff is causing this to be happening because the frequency is so strong that it is going into our nervous systems and causing havoc in our nervous system. Right. What do you think about that? Does that make any sense to you?
Now, did you see the doctor over the weekend in New York saying that he's been studying this? Him and his colleagues been studying illnesses and virus for years, mm-hmm. and they never seen what's going on.
Yes, sir.
He said that this didn't come from no coronavirus. He said he don't care what anybody say. He said we never seen these kind of symptoms before. He said, and another doctor said this is the equivalent to radiation poisoning.
Yeah, that's what I read. Yeah. That's what I read, and you notice right. where they're putting these 5Gs up on at the end of my block there. They've got a little box there, and we went to it. Rhonda Wimbish, I don't know if she's listening, but she brought this up several months ago that this was that we needed to be paying attention to this. Now they're saying that these radiation frequencies are what's doing this. It's attacking our immune systems, and I wonder how many of these, and we're going to look up to see how many are up on Roland Park, how many 5G towers are up there. We've got one right on the corner of Cold Spring and Dolefield. The thing looks like a tower. So that's affecting right. us. All of this so that the world can move at a faster speed on the internet. Who cares right. if this is what this is?
And see, Patrick, I'm telling you, man. People really, really need to open their eyes to what's going on. If they think that next week or next month that the world 2 months ago is going to be the way it is mm-hmm. Back then, no, it's not going to be. Look, they just passed $2 trillion stimulus, $2 mm-hmm. trillion that we don't even have. Who do you think going to pay for that?
Right.
I mean, people is blind, man. People is blind. Cars right now don't have no value. Houses and all that kind of stuff that people held near and dear to their hearts don't have no value. Any of that stuff don't have no value right now. Everybody is on the same playing field.
Wow.
Everybody.
Yeah. So you
White people is trying to focus and trying to feed their kids. They scared to death. They trying to find out what's going on. Everybody and France is talking about sending some of their troops over in Africa to use our people as guinea pigs to try to find a cure because it's not a large outbreak in Africa.
Yeah.
So they pissed off that a lot of people in Africa is not
have all the towers we have.
Say it again, Lemitra.
I said they don't have all the towers that we have. They don't have the 5G towers. They don't have as many 5G towers as we do.
Yes, ma'am. You're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
I'm going to let y'all go. Y'all, I'm going to keep listening. Y'all, I'm going to let y'all go.
All right, thank you.
Guys up ahead of Miss Sarah.
Go ahead, Mitchell. What'd you say? We can't hear understand you, sweetheart. Say
I was saying, have you guys ever heard of Nasara?
Nasara?
Nasara.
No, what is that?
Uh-huh. That is when, this is what the guy just got to talking about. This is kind of like a spiritual intervention that's supposed to happen where everybody's on the same playing field for the economy, money, and everything else. This is something, in other words, this is something that has to happen. And as he said, the world that we knew, it will not be the same. It won't be the same anymore. It's going to be entirely different because things have to change. For us to get out of this, should I say, hell that most of us have been in, things have to change, and this is one way of things changing. He's right. It will never be the same. But look it up. Don't go by what I'm saying. Just look it up. It's been in the plans for a while, and I'm not talking about the government, but just look it up and read up on it. And then y'all tell me what you think about it next week.
What is it called? Say it again so people can look it up, Mitra.
Nasara.
How do you spell it?
Nesara. Nasara.
Nasara. Y'all can look it up and go read about it. Well, I tell you what, I don't believe it's ever going to be the same either because it's going to make us nervous about being around each other. But the thing of it is, the idea is to survive it. Is to survive it. You know, y'all. I was just reading in here. I notice every day when if I go to the grocery store somewhere, there are gloves, plastic gloves on the ground. They're saying, do not throw those gloves on the ground. Throw them in the trash. People get out their car and stuff, and they threw with them, and they throw them on the ground. Don't throw them on the ground. Throw them in the trash because they might have the virus on them. And the other thing is, y'all need to stop when you come in your house. Take your shoes off at the door because that virus can live. If somebody spits or something and you walk over that, you can bring that into your house. So don't take your shoes off at the door. I know some people are funny about that because if they come visit you and stuff, they got holes in their socks, they're embarrassed. Ain't no pride, y'all. Ain't no time for no pride right now. Let's be serious about this and try to live through this because life is not over. But those who survive are going to be able to continue living. That sounds redundant. But you need to take care of yourself. You can't take this lackadaisically at all. 410-481-1010. 410-481-1010.
Right now.
All right. And welcome, caller. You have a question or comment?
Yes, hello, Patrick. I have a question and a comment. I'll go with my comment very quick first.
Go ahead.
I would agree with those last two callers. However, pay attention to what Dr. Burke said about not going to the grocery stores.
And the pharmacy.
She wouldn't go. They are sending us an underlying message. The same way with that Surgeon General, Jerome Adams. He's speaking directly to the black community. Pay attention. I'm looking for them to lock down. I mean, completely lock down, not shelter in place, where they will close the Walmarts and the grocery stores, and they will come to the neighborhoods and bring food trucks and give us the essentials. Now, Patrick, this testing, is this testing supposed to be done free?
Yes,
COVID-19
yes, ma'am.
testing?
Yes, ma'am. It's supposed to be done free, and according to Trump, is that they can't even charge you if they have to treat you. All of that's supposed to be free. Jamal Bryant got in trouble because he was charging.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
Yeah, he was.
Why is he charging $150 for this test and he's supposed to have it? Where did he get the test from?
Well, exactly. So I think what you say, Jason, he wanted to, but I think he didn't go through with it. Why? Because of public outcry.
Probably, most likely.
Yeah, they got on him.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, thank you. I was just sure. But what he can do, he could go to all of these emergency rooms and go in the COVID area, and he could pray for those people that's by themselves that don't have their loved ones with them when they take their last breath, because he knows the Lord going to take care of him. That's what he preaches.
Yeah.
Have a good day, gentlemen.
Well, help
Maybe
us.
They don't have $150 for him to pray.
Well, I don't know. I just think it was awful. I don't know who's talking to that brother, but he's one of the same guys that grew up in Bethlehem Church, which all our mayors grew up in and stuff. And so I don't know what they must have been teaching them a whole different Jesus theory, because I've never understood how people can grow up in such a strong supposed ministry and be so corrupt, especially to God's people, because God said and Jesus said he would know how much we love him by the way we love our neighbors, and to love the Lord thy God with all our heart, mind, body, and soul. But if you don't care about your neighbor, then you don't love God. Now, I said it, and I say it slow. Y'all can get on my case with you about, but God is love. And if God is not love, then there is no God. And I believe there is a God. So 410-481-1010, 410-481-1010. Call us and let us know what you're going through. If you have any questions or comments, we want to hear it. In the yes.
I agree with the lady on the phone. Walmart does deliver. If you pay $9 a month, you don't have $9 a month, they'll deliver for free. You also have Instacart that will deliver to you. If you buy a certain amount of food, they'll deliver to you free. We have like Kroger, Tom Thumb, Appleton, Aldi. I joined it, and they just bring my food to the door, and before I bring my bags in, I take my little bleaching water out there, and I wipe everything down before I bring it in the house. But this is not open food. This is, food from the grocery store. But, there's different ways you can do it.
Wow.
It's Instacart and it's Walmart.
I'm sorry, to say it again, Lamitra?
It's Instacart that will deliver your food. If you buy $35 from Instacart, they deliver your food free.
Okay.
If you use Walmart, if you join for $9, they'll deliver your food free. In other words, if you want them to come 2 or 3 times, you just pay them $9. You don't have to pay anything extra. But Instacart, if you buy anything over $35, then they deliver it free.
Are they all over the United States?
So you just have to look at. Yes, all you have to do is put Patrick already put it in your area. You have it. Y'all have Instacart.
Okay.
Y'all have Instacart out there. A lot of people don't know about it, but they do have it.
Okay. All right. It's called Instacart. INSTACART. Yes, that's what
Put your zip code in there. Yeah, put your zip code in there, and then you choose what store you want to shop from.
Okay. All right. Did y'all hear that? That's good information. But they say do not go out because the virus is peaking right now. That's the reason they're telling you not to go to the pharmacy or the grocery store. And whatever you do, don't go to Walmart, because they're finding, I read in the paper this morning, 2 or 3 people have...
Walmart deliver too.
Yeah, Walmart delivers too. But whatever you do, they say don't go out over the next few days because the virus is peaking. So y'all remember that. Y'all take this seriously. Get you one of them little masks, if it ain't nothing but something to tie, a bandana to tie around your face. Get you some of them rubber gloves, and keep a glove in your car. Don't touch no metal surfaces with your bare hands. And if you do, you immediately put sanitizer and don't go near your face with it. That's how it spreads so easily. But
you can put some freezer bags on your hands if you don't have gloves.
Yeah.
You know?
Anything to keep it from touching that surface and attaching to your skin. And don't get more than 6 feet around somebody, because they could be talking and accidentally spit. And that would go on your skin or on your face, and then you will get it. It's serious, y'all. Don't be getting to pulling up on people. I was driving yesterday and I saw these people from BG&E out there working, and they were standing in a huddle on a corner, no gloves on, no mask on, nothing. They just standing. But this is the city of Baltimore. You would think that their supervisors would tell them to do this. In fact, I believe it was Brandon Scott who finally told the police commissioner that every policeman should have their temperature should be taken when they come on duty, because one whole precinct has been closed down. Been closed down because so many of the policemen in there have the virus. So what are these people thinking? These are our city fathers, you all. These are people that are supposed to be managing and helping us, and then they're subjecting their own people to it. What do y'all think of that? 410-481-1010. You're listening to Patrick Henderson's Meet the People on WOLB 1010 Baltimore. Doc?
All right, you got a caller.
All right. Welcome. You have a question or comment?
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
What is the name of this miracle drug that's supposed to help some kind of fish tank clean or something? Because I was listening to the right wing station down the dial today this morning, and they was constantly pumping it up.
Oh yeah, that's what Trump
trying to stop me from buying it.
Who's trying to stop you from buying it?
Because I think I want to see. I think some of Trump's followers love him more than Melania.
They love him.
I mean, no matter what he says, they agree with.
Yeah. I agree with you, but the thing of it is that Dr. Fauci is saying that drug is not proved to work. Okay, and Trump is in trouble now because he wouldn't let Dr. Fauci respond to it the other day on television. Okay, so we don't know if it will work. Trump says, "What have you got to lose?" You know.
Patrick, you're breaking up again.
Okay.
Right. So I'm gonna let y'all go because I can better understand.
Oh, okay. We're losing power. What are we doing, Jay? Is something wrong?
All right, now you sound fine.
Okay. All right. I moved up. Okay. I'll sit back in this chair. The gentleman was talking about this drug that Trump is saying it's a malaria drug, but they've used it. But Dr. Fauci said we need to do a study to test its efficacy to see if it works. But Trump is saying it's already been tested. They've been using it for malaria. They know what the side effects are, and but he's shutting them up. And the people on Fox are certainly Trump supporters, and they're trying to kill Dr. Fauci. Can you imagine that? These jerks are trying to kill the man who's the only source that we believe we can trust. You know, so 410-481-1010. 410-481-1010.
Everybody needs to make sure they're drinking a lot of hot fluids during the day. A lot of hot fluids a couple times a day. Gargle with vinegar and lemon. Warm vinegar and lemon at least once a day. Okay? Inhale steam, hot steam up your nose at least once or twice a day.
And what, Lemitra?
I don't trust hospitals anyway.
What'd you say? Yeah.
I don't trust them. I think they've been playing. They got the answer already out there. They're just not sharing it.
Who is that talking? Where's that noise coming from? Can you see what line that is? Okay, thank you.
Not me.
What's that?
All right. Doc. So what's Doc? What is the plan for your area as far as food is concerned? How y'all doing with food over there for the kids?
For the kids, I think we are doing extremely well now. Mm-hmm. It took a lot of hell raising 3 weeks ago that we basically charged the city of Baltimore and the school system with neglect. After we did it for a week, my community did it for a week, We served food to 1,800 people. We didn't exclude seniors, disabled, shut in, homeless. We included everyone. We did about 400 meals a day. The city looks like they have now finally come to their senses, because I think there were a bunch of uraniances for the last 2 months. They were not giving the elementary school, Matthew Henderson was not serving food. The Omega Baltimore Rec Center was not serving food, and we screamed and hollered. So we think they have now come to their senses. But the rest of our neighborhood, for the most part, where you're talking about Gilmore Homes, is suffering the same way that Annie Chambers and her folks and her neighborhood were suffering, that the city was making some damn stupid guideline that you can't bring food into an area that needs food. Well, Annie's area, which is in East Baltimore, is suffering similar to my residence in Gilmore Homes. There is no food market. So some of these reporters talking about don't go to the food market. Well, where in the heck do you think folks are going to get food who don't have a food market at the corner store? They don't have automobiles to drive. It's sad that we have elected officials, most of whom I think should not get reelected. I think we need to kick most of them to the curb because they are failing us. We got to do the best that we can. Neighbors got to come together. They got to stop being outside. Keep your back, spine, and bowhine in the house. Check on our seniors. But we got to pray to God to help us. But let's be sensible and intelligent. Let's don't do dumb things that can create the virus to get to all of us.
Amen, amen. Well, Lamitra said, for those of you who can't get out, who don't have transportation, if you buy $35 or more, you can go to Instacart, INSTACART. Is that .com, Lamitra?
Yes.
Instacart.com, and they will deliver it to you free if you spend over $35. Okay.
If you buy $35 or more, they'll deliver the food free.
Okay. All right.
Where's that located?
All over the country.
You can look at it. Look it up online.
Yeah, it's all over the country.
It'll tell you what grocery stores they shop from. Like you guys have what? You have A&P, Giant. What else do you have?
We have Shoppers. We have Giant. We have
Shoppers, Giant,
Safeway,
Walgreens. It goes to all of them.
Yeah. Okay.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's cutting into Peapod, huh?
Cutting into what?
Peapod.
What is that?
Peapod is Giant's delivery service.
Well, I'm sure it's the same thing. Right. It's not cutting into it.
Can I say something that y'all might learn for the first time? I know y'all in some pretty nice communities, but we have some communities such as Gilmore Homes where you don't get anyone that would deliver anything for fear of the crime. We're in the Wild Wild West, for those who don't know the area we're in, where we lead in homicides 5 out of the last 6 years. We got food folks who will not come to this neighborhood. And I know some of y'all are very fortunate that y'all haven't experienced anything like this, but my next door neighbors is not my specific community, but it's my neighbors next door to me. We have most food folks, such as pizzas. They won't deliver pizzas because they don't know whether they're going to come back out alive.
Yeah, either that or they won't get out the car. You have to come to them. I agree with you. Even over here in Ashburton, they do that. They won't even get out the car. So he's absolutely right. So what are you saying, Doc, that would hinder people from being able to order food?
Well, I'm real happy. We got some really good folks that are now hearing some of us crying out in the wilderness that we need help. I just put out on Facebook yesterday and this morning, we're going to attempt, Matthew Henderson neighborhood, to attempt to do what we did 2 weeks ago. We're recruiting some organizations that are willing to continue giving food. We want to do what basically I would say Drew Hill Park does on Wednesdays. On Thursdays, we want to have free food come to our neighborhood. We're trying to benefit our Gilmore Homes residents, but we're not going to put it in Gilmore Homes because we don't want our city mothers and fathers to do what they did to Annie Chambers' neighborhood. We're going to put it in our own park, the park that our community built. We're asking folks, if you are an organization such as the Franciscan Center, such as Maryland Food Bank, if you want to bring some food, we're asking folks, we would like to start
down, please.
We would like to start on the third Thursday of every month to actually bring food to the community that we can give away.
Okay.
All right, we got to go to break. We got to take a break.
All right. Bye, Richard. Okay. Interesting. So you want people, when do you want them to do that, Doc? Doc, when do you want them to do that?
We would ask them to either call or email us. My phone number is real simple, 410-669-VOTE, 410-669-VOTE, or my email address is almost as simple, civilrights@verizon.net, civilrights@verizon.net, because we think the city now is doing an admirable job feeding our children, but it's not just our children that need to be fed. We're in a food desert. 8 liquor stores, no food market. We need food to be brought, especially I need to look out as a neighborhood president. I need to look out for my neighbors that are in Gilmore Homes. And since the city won't allow folks to come into that community, we're saying let's do it right next door to them. Let us bring food to the Matthew Henderson area, and we'll give it out to everybody that needs food in our area.
Okay. That's really good. Thank you, Doc, for all that you do.
We got to go to break. We'll be right back.
All right. You're listening to Patrick Henderson's Meet the People. Don't touch that dial.
The new 1010 WOLB with talk in the day and soul at night.
If you or a loved one have been in recovery from a drug or alcohol addiction and have relapsed, we understand what you're going through, and we can help. Recovery Centers of America stands ready to help you do whatever it takes to achieve lasting recovery. The time for action is now. Dial *646 on your mobile phone today and ask about Prize, a unique program for people who have relapsed, available at our locations on the Eastern Shore and in Southern Maryland. At RCA, our master's level clinicians will identify the triggers and reasons behind your relapse and tackle them head on. We'll help you build off the knowledge that you've acquired previously in treatment, and you'll be surrounded by peers who are determined to make this their last time in treatment. Together, we can achieve lasting recovery. Make the call that changes everything. Dial *646 on your mobile phone today. That's *646, *646.
These are unprecedented times, which are causing a lot of stress and financial worry for millions of Americans. But here's some good news. If you owe back taxes to the IRS, Optima Tax Relief can reduce the stress in your life by helping you resolve your tax debt right from the safety of your own home. Make no mistake, you don't want to owe the IRS right now. They can take your paycheck and everything you work so hard for. But with Optima on your side, you may qualify for help that saves you thousands. Their tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau and has resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for taxpayers across the nation. So now's the time. For tax help you need, for tax help you trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-799-0977. That's 800-799-0977. 800-799-0977.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
What is us?
Us is a foundation.
Us is the future.
Us is a bond. But right now, that bond is fraying, and we need a place that can make it whole.
From diabetes prevention to safety around water.
The why fills the gaps.
And bridges our divide.
But they can't do it without us.
Donate today.
Because where there's a why, there's an us.
Read by members of the Y.
The Y, for a better us.
You can change the lives of 6
All right, I got y'all. I got y'all locked in.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'm about to pull you up now. Okay, everybody's up.
Can't hear anybody.
Doc Tatum is here.
Hello.
Hello.
Are we the only two this on?
I think you're right. Why don't you go ahead and run the show? I think you do a great job. Go ahead and put your package on.
Well, see, all I be talking about.
Could y'all not hear them on air? Hello? 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 Hello?
Vinegar and lemon once a day, warm, or you can gargle with hot warm water.
Hello? Patrick, Jason? Hello?
Oh, I had the mic off. I'm sorry. My fault. That was on me. I'm sorry. I had your mic off.
Hello.
Hello, WRB.
Okay, it's Patrick. All right, here we are. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm about to put you on now.
Okay, thanks.
3 weeks, and I still do it. As I said, when I got the groceries, I took me some bleach and water, and I washed everything that I had gotten from the store. I washed it off. Someone brought me groceries, but I still washed everything up. I had her to sit the groceries on the porch, and after she left, I went and got my groceries, washed them off, and then brought them inside the house. So that I would not get a contact or get infected or whatever it is you want to call it. But we have to take care of ourselves. We have to
I think you've given us some great ideas. I really do. I hadn't thought of a couple of those. I have the little teeny cane stuff on the front of my steps as before you come in my house. I'm telling folks you got to come in, even though nobody's been in this house but my son and I. So we're taking that precaution. Patrick, are you there?
We have to.
Patrick, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm back.
Jason's there.
Yeah, we are back.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Your sister's outstanding.
Well, she's a nurse. She's a nurse.
That's what it is. I'm taking notes.
Yeah, she's a nurse. She just retired from the Veterans Administration, so she's a real nurse. Yeah.
I don't know whether you heard her, but she was giving us some excellent advice.
Lemitra, you sent a petition about this. How do you pronounce it? The what and the what? Naceros, a petition where people can go and sign. And what are they signing for? What are they asking the government to do?
They're signing that we don't have IRS. We don't have, in other words, we don't have income taxes. We don't pay all these taxes that we pay, but everybody's on the same accord. Just like in Norway. There is no rich people and there are no poor people. You know? It's actually a spiritual intervention. To be honest with you, it's not man that's doing it. It's a spiritual thing that's saying this is what we have to get. We have to get to that point. Where everybody is the same, but nobody's better than the other one.
Right.
Like the way it's going on now. That's why when you guys were saying it would never be the same, you're right. It will never be the same.
Right.
Because they're trying to get back to the digital coins and stuff. You know, they're trying to change to the digital. I don't know if it's going to happen. It has to.
Yeah, but that's why they're pushing. But they can't do that without. But they can't do it without the 5G. These cars that drive themselves and stuff. That's the reason they're pushing for it, right?
You know, I understand that.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that. That's why
that's why the Trump and all them said. Remember all them Republicans that came out and said old folks should die for the economy. That's what they're talking about right there, so they can make more money. So they can make more money.
But that's what the salary's about. Them not making more money. That's what it's about.
Right.
Them not making money like that. Yeah.
Y'all got callers on the line.
All right, let's go to the phones.
Oh yeah.
Welcome to Patrick Henderson's Meet the People. Do you have a question or comment?
Yeah, hey, Patrick, how you doing? George Mitchell, man.
Hey, George, how you doing?
Fine, buddy. How you feeling, man? Wonderful show, man.
Man, listen, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for all y'all do. For all y'all don't know who this is. This is George E. Mitchell, the progenitor, the starter of the Langston Hughes Community Center, who has been feeding our people since this virus has been going on. You can go there and walk away with boxes of food. I'm telling you all, he is a blessing. He is a blessing to us, and God bless you. Thank you for calling. Good to know you are well, and thank you so much. What can we do for you today, Mr. Mitchell?
Well, that's the reason why I called, and thank you for the compliment, but I got one hell of a crew.
Yes, you do.
We're having a food pantry tomorrow.
Okay.
At 1:30 at Langston Hughes. We got a lot of good stuff. Like I talked to Ronald Food Bank this morning already. About 6 o'clock this morning I spoke to them.
Okay.
But we got to giving out a lot of stuff. This past Friday, we served over 400 people. People got hams and turkeys and breakfast food, sausages, and all kinds of stuff. But we know Easter is coming. Thanks to Sean Sinet, we're going to have stuff for the kids this tomorrow and on Friday. We have another one on Friday. I mean, cotton candy and what do you call it? A lot of good stuff for the kids for Easter. But we're going to have all kinds of stuff tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow for the food pantry at 1:30. Only thing we ask that people, if you can, wear masks.
Yes.
And stand 6 feet apart while we waiting in line. Because we only let certain number of people do.
Yeah, and get there early because the lines are long, but the service is excellent. The people who are working in there, you are right. My hat goes off to them. They're friendly, and they try to give you things and make sure you got something that's there. And sometimes the things, as more people come, they go down in supplies, but then they try to give you more of what is left so that you won't be without. So it's a great thing.
And Patrick, I just want to give a shout out to all those volunteers that do come up there to Langston Hughes.
Oh, yeah, and I would like to say to all the people that go up there to help. I was up there, and one of the guys I had seen one day, and I asked him, I said, how did you get here? He said, I heard they needed volunteers. Do you need volunteers, Doc? I mean,
that would be okay tomorrow, but Tom, which is a mental health place, they're attending to my building. They've been really helping us out. Israel K. Farm with I Can, We Can. Been really helping out, sending guys out to help unload. Our biggest problem is unloading the truck. And I go down, when they have food pay, I go down about 6 o'clock in the morning with 2 other people. We load the truck up, but the problem is unloading it. So,
okay.
Last week we had 33,000 pounds of food.
Wow.
The capacity is 33,000. Yeah, everybody wants, not just for Buck Heights, it's for all of Baltimore City. So we had some people come up there from Howard County. And we kind of had enough for everybody. But we got plenty of stuff. And I just want, people got to eat, man. And, they don't have money. And the shelves are empty. And I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to tell people about it. But tomorrow at 1:30, then we do it again on Friday. And also, we pass out, we do 100 breakfasts for kids and 100 lunches for kids every day.
Wow.
So let's grab and go.
Wow.
Come in and grab it, and they can walk right back to the door.
Well,
so we do that.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, he can hear you.
Yeah, I want to say this, and I want to say this publicly. You are a godsend, my brother.
Yes.
We and so many of us really say your name. You're not the mayor of Park Heights. You should be called St. George.
Yes.
Because
come on, man.
No, I agree.
You are literally saving people's lives. You are bringing communities and people together that have never come together. My brother, you are God's son. We love you dearly. Keep doing what you're doing. But, George, make sure you eat. We love you, George.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Patrick should know because Patrick was the MC. When we first got that center, I called Patrick. He came over and was the MC for the whole event when we first opened up.
Yes.
And did a help job.
Well, I tell you what, man.
Always be in my memory like that, man.
Oh, listen, I never will forget that day you were in the studio and I was interviewing you, and we both cried for our children. I'll never forget that. That was a life-altering experience, and then you went on because they wasn't trying to give you that building, and we just believed, you believed, and God just came through and gave that building, and you have been in season and out of season, George. You have been there, right? I agree with him. We should crown you St. George because you are a blessing to our people.
Barbara Robinson calls him King George.
King George.
King George.
Well, we glad to give you those beatitudes. Thank you so much, sir.
And one last thing, Doc, I'm gonna try to help you, man, to get some food down there. Cause we're registered with Harvest Fresh too. You and I just need to talk offline about what we need to do. Cause we need to help you out too down there.
Yeah, let me at least explain to the neighbors. It's not as much I'm trying to do this for Matthew Henson as I am for three communities around us that have a large number of folks. We're looking first at Gilmore Homes. They're first and foremost. And then a couple of blocks from them, a lot of folks don't know of the Harvey Johnson Towers that is there. And then a few blocks from that is another senior home on Edmondson and Fulton. So right within almost 6 blocks of each other, you got 3 major housing units where folks are basically on low to moderate income. I'm probably being kind calling them moderate, but they're basically folks who, if we don't help them, they won't get help. I'm trying to tell folks, let's steal every idea that George got. Let's steal it because my brother, I'm calling you a saint.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. But really, between the three of us, between Patrick, you, and me, I think we can come up with a plan. We're going to come up with. Let's talk about it offline. I want to take a Patrick showtime.
All right.
Let's talk about it.
I'll see you. I'll see you tomorrow anyway. All right.
All right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. That's tomorrow. Free food tomorrow at 1:30 at the Langston Hughes Community Center. Y'all get there early. Bring your own bags or your own boxes. They have some boxes back there, but just to be safe, you want to bring your own stuff. And God bless them and make that bounty, make those cases just overflow enough. Was it 3 loaves of bread and 2 fish? Oh, God, multiply them in the name of Jesus, oh, God. Help our people, oh, God. We ask you in thy son, Jesus Christ's name, amen. Have we got more callers?
Yes, we do. I'm about to bring them up now.
All right, thank you. Welcome to Patrick Henderson's Meet the People. Do you have a question or comment?
Yes, I have a question or comment.
Go ahead.
First, I'd like to give love and respect to Doc and also to Uncle George.
Yes.
They are 2 beautiful, outstanding souls.
Yes.
And to you,
well, God,
Patrick.
That's how I believe we know God is by the love in our hearts. And I can't help it. People use me. They think they're getting over on me, but you know what? They're not getting over on me because I know God has got me. He's taken care of me for 70 years.
Because God sees everything, and he knows everything.
Yes, ma'am.
So nobody can get over on you, and nobody can take from you that he don't know about.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Brother Patrick, can I ask you a question? Do you remember when the radiation broke out over there in China or Japan?
In China, yeah. It broke out in Wuhan.
No, you're talking about. She's talking about the nuclear meltdown. Remember when they had the tsunami?
Oh, that was Japan.
Japan.
It wasn't too long. That wasn't too long ago.
That was Japan.
And the scientists said that it was going to take some time, to get in the atmosphere, and then it would be coming to other parts of the world.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, they were actually they actually have been detecting radiation in California because of that nuclear reactor. Getting into the grates and the soil.
Okay, another thing. Before President Obama left office, President Obama, Vice President Biden, they set up an office in the White House.
Yes, they did.
Because they was warned that this would be.
Yes, ma'am.
They told Donald Trump about this.
Yes, they did.
But Donald Trump refused to listen.
Yes, he
They
did.
gave Donald Trump $8 billion to contract this, but he did not do it.
No, he
so
didn't.
The blood is on his hands.
Well, I'm reading today.
Because of this mess.
That's right. They're suing him. Some states are suing him already because of the neglected crimes against humanity. Absolutely.
That's right. And that's another thing. Pastor, will you please repeat to people about paying their bills? Because a lot of people don't know that it's a halt on your rent and your mortgage.
That's right. They cannot evict you. You got your mortgage. You got 2 months to do it. They can't charge you late fees. And there's no more interest on it. Your rent, you don't have to pay that right now. They cannot evict you. Comcast cannot turn off your cable. Utilities cannot turn off your utility bills because.
But the problem is what happens after everything goes back to normal.
You are absolutely right.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
Also, they're even rolling over your minutes on your cell phone.
That's right. That's right.
Right.
So,
but what happens once everything goes back to normal?
Well, we ain't gonna worry about that right now, Jason. What's gonna happen when we go back? All we worry about is taking care of us now.
Right. But our eviction is gonna
Can I
rapidly.
say one more thing?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Can I say one more thing?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, President Biden and Sanders, they want to put a freeze. They calling for a freeze on rent for everybody because this happens people to no fault of the people. This is on Donald Trump's hand. This is his blood. This is his stain.
Well, the only
he refused.
Yes, ma'am. I agree with you, but we're going to see if the people are going to vote in November to move him out of office. See, that's what we're going to do.
Because, and so, let me say this, and I'm gone. To all those Donald Trump people, them red people, red state people, I hope they see how much love that their president has for them.
Yeah, I hope they see it too, but they're so blinded by racism, they think he's for them. He ain't for nobody but Trump. That's what they don't see.
When their stomach start kicking in, they will turn their heads against Trump. You believe on that?
Well, we'll see. But I tell you, racism, man, that's the thing. Thank you so much, sweetheart.
Let me say this. Can I say this?
Go ahead.
Anybody out there, please do not take Donald Trump's advice about no vaccine. He has no idea. And if he's so sure about this vaccine, let his family take it and give it to him.
Yeah.
If they live, then everybody else can take it.
Yeah. What you say, LaMason?
That's right.
I said, don't take the vaccine.
Yeah, I just read about that too.
Flu vaccine. I don't take none of this stuff.
Donald Trump don't know jack. Nothing.
You don't take it. He said he ain't take it. He said you don't even take the flu shot.
Right.
The only thing people need to do, people must keep their stuff cleaned out.
Yep.
Detox. They got to detox themselves.
Yes, ma'am, and be
because
careful.
It's in your immune system. It's in your immune system. Careful.
All right. All right, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. God bless you. All right, we got to get one. Go ahead, Jason.
Patrick, before we get off, I wanted to bring the numbers up really quick for folks to let folks know exactly the reported cases of coronavirus. As of 10 o'clock this morning, the Maryland Health Department has reported that there are now 4,045 cases of confirmed coronavirus. In the state of Maryland. In the state of Maryland. That is an increase.
Can y'all hear him? Can you hear him okay?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, Jay.
That is an increase of 436. In Baltimore City, we are now at 435.
Cases
reported.
Did it say how many deaths?
How many have died?
Our deaths is 91, and that's plus 24 within the last 24 hours. So every 24 hours at 10 a.m., the Maryland Health Department gives an update. And there are 24 more deaths than there was 24 hours ago.
Wow.
So we're at 91 deaths statewide.
Statewide.
And we're at 4,045 confirmed cases in the state of Maryland.
Well, a lot of people are surviving it, Jason, we're hearing. Over in Italy, and Lamitra, you put something up the other day talking about the fact that 200,000 people have survived it. But I think they're not talking about that so much because they don't want people to think that it's something that they shouldn't take seriously.
They are reporting that. They are reporting that here as well in Maryland. So they had 184 of those that were in isolation have been released. That's an increase of 25 over the last 24
Now,
hours.
those people have become very valuable now because of their plasma. And so they're going to use that plasma. Yeah, they can use that plasma, which I would rather think might be more important than that vaccine they're creating because we don't know what's in it. And y'all heard where that French...
What do you think they're going to put in the vaccine?
Well, from what I'm reading, nothing good. And these French scientists say they want to practice on Africa. And even Obama came out.
Hell no.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, Jay.
You got 2
Okay,
minutes.
you know what else, you guys? Y'all need to go and get some candles. You need to go get some candles. All those things that run on battery with light, I'm just telling you, get you some candles. Okay?
Yeah. Most of us have flashlights.
And even going to change for a little bit, huh?
Yeah. All right, we got 2 more callers. Lamitra, you're right.
2 minutes.
Oh, we got just 2 minutes. Okay. Do we have more calls? Lamitra, you got any more advice, sweetheart?
Well, no, that's it.
Also, for those of you who have animals, Brother Smitty just sent me a thing where a tiger at Bronx Zoo tested positive for the COVID-19 after coming in contact with an asymptomatic caretaker. Y'all, you don't know if you got it. You don't know if you got it. So don't be acting like you ain't got nothing. You don't know if you have it. And listen, if you think you have it or something, go and get tested. Okay? Go and get tested. Jason got to quit remind me. I'm used to having a microphone in front of my face, so I'm talking to my phone as though I'm doing it. Listen, thank each and every one of you all for listening. Go ahead, Lamitra.
Don't let them give you anything. Don't let them shoot anything inside of you. If you go get tested, don't let them shoot anything inside of you.
What about that? What about that woman we saw the other day who was on Facebook who was using a hairdryer, spraying her face with water and using a hairdryer and holding it up to her nostrils because they say the virus lodges right there at the tip
Okay. You didn't hear me say use a steam. You know, get over steam, get your towel and inhale the steam up through your nose.
Yeah.
You're supposed to do that once or twice a day. That kills the virus, too.
Yeah, but I'm just wondering if that's not adding moisture at the same time. Whereas with the dryer, you dry it out. Okay, we've only got 1 more minute.
No, I don't. I use the hot steam.
Okay, I'm just saying. I'm talking about what the other lady did. She had the virus and they got rid of it. You listening to Patrick Henderson's Meet the People on WLB 1010. We hope we've been helpful to you. Share this video with your friends and stuff, and maybe some questions will be answered. And go to YouTube and like us on YouTube. And
we will be on Facebook for a little bit longer after the feed. So
okay. So we're not going to go offline, you all. We're going to still be online with your questions and commentary. So if you have more questions, we're going to stay online a little bit longer. So please feel free. And thank you all for joining us. And you've been listening to Patrick Henderson's Meet the People. Say goodbye, Jason.
Goodbye, everyone.
Say goodbye, Lamitra.
Bye.
And say goodbye, Doc Cheatham. You still there?
Yes, I am. Goodbye and God bless.
All right, y'all. We love you all. God bless y'all. Bless Baltimore. Bless our nation. And, oh, God, get rid of this president. In the Son of Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen. All right.
Amen.
Amen. We're off the air.
Oh, we're still live on Facebook Live, so they can still hear us.
Can they call in?
No, you're good.
The COVID-19 crisis is taking a toll on the entire world, affecting us all. Sorority and Associates has formulated strategies to deal with the aftermath. Our office is fully operational, but virtual functions.
All right, so he hung up. So we're still live though. They can still hear us.
Well,
and I'm not sure if you want to call Ametria or not. We can call her if you want to, or she can call us. One of the two.
For those of you that are still listening, one of the symptoms that they're saying that is really important to take note of is a loss of a sense of smell
and taste.
And taste. Those are two indications that there's something wrong. If you can't smell those flowers, if you can't smell that boo-boo when you're taking a po-po, there's something wrong, okay? It's a peculiar clue, but it just lets you know a loss of sense of smell may be a peculiar cue. Doctors are recommending testing and isolation for people who lose their ability to smell and taste, even if they have no other symptoms. So y'all need to know that. A mother who was infected with the coronavirus could smell her baby's full diaper, just like I said. Cooks who can usually name every spice in the restaurant dish can't smell curry or garlic and food tastes bland. Others say they can't pick up the sweet smell of shampoo or the foul odor of kitty litter. Anosmia, the loss of sense of smell, and angusia, an accompanying diminished sense of taste, have emerged as peculiar telltale signs of COVID-19, the disease caused by the virus, and possible markers of the infection. On Friday, British ear, nose, and throat doctors, citing reports from colleagues around the world, called on adults who lose their sense of smell to isolate themselves for 7 days, even if they have no other symptoms, to slow the disease's spread. The published data is limited, but doctors are concerned enough to raise warnings. Now, if you have lost your sense of smell and taste,
remember we talked about that yesterday, that I told you that loss of taste, loss of smell was one of the new founded symptoms that they're noticing, or a common symptom among patients.
So we need to know, you might not have no symptoms, but that's something you need to be aware of. And if you go to the tank and you can't smell it, like to say the woman was changing her baby's diaper and she noticed she couldn't smell it, that lets you know, because you can really, when it's rank, I mean, what it was is what they call it raw.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean. You can smell it, but we have a situation where that is not something that you should take lightly. That we should actually consider.
The other issue that we didn't get into was the fact that the police department had tested positive, and my wife shared the story this morning. Yesterday we were talking about one officer, but now they're talking about 7 officers.
Yeah, they closed the whole Southwest Department.
And they ended up closing the Southwest Department.
Right.
And they have an additional 219 officers are now quarantined.
219?
219 officers are now quarantined.
Wow.
It says the Baltimore Police Department announced the new numbers in a news release that 6 Baltimore officers and 2 civilian employees tested positive for COVID-19.
Wow. Jason, I've got to go to the restroom. Could you just take over here?
Sure.
And I'll be right back, you all.
Sure. Pull the microphone off.
Okay.
And, you have the microphone.
Right.
Unless you go take it with you.
Yeah, I'll just take it with me so we won't have to go through.
But yeah, family. So again, the other thing that's coming up in the news is that the police department is now has been infected. And something that Richard Terry had said yesterday when he called on on Sunday on our show on Sunday, he was saying that he was scared that majority of the districts are going to end up getting some cases reported of COVID-19, which could really put the police department at jeopardy. We're already, hundreds of officers down as it is already, and then to add to everything, you end up closing a district. So Southwest District is closed up. 219 officers are quarantined. And actually, it's more folks than that, because according to this, it says since the start of the pandemic, 305 employees have been quarantined. The Baltimore Police Department says out of that 305 employees, 82 officers have been cleared to return to work. So, again, Richard was fearing that this could become more widespread and end up affecting more of the policing districts throughout Baltimore City. Also, a news report that was released this morning from Fox 45 News was saying that juvenile offenders quarantined, mask required. Staff members test positive for coronavirus. And it says here that the Department of Juvenile Services was notified on Sunday, April 5th, 2020, that a staff member who was working at the Lower East Shore Children's Center in Salisbury, Maryland, tested positive for COVID-19. The DJS employee last worked at the facility on March 27, 2020, and has been quarantined since that time. All staff and youth who are in contact with this worker are currently in quarantine, and all facility staff and youth have been directed to wear protective masks. The health department and the Department of Juvenile Services are currently in the process of confirming the test results. Further tests have been ordered and will be completed to identify and confirm the COVID-19 virus. And not only we're having issues currently with the juvenile facility, but we know that there was a report that somewhere in the Maryland Correctional Facility that some correctional officers had tested positive as well. And they are currently in the process of releasing low-level offenders from the central bookings and other facilities throughout the state as a precautionary measure to try to kind of tame any possible risk, to try to contain any possible risk. So, but Patrick's returning right now, and I'm going to talk to him about this. So, Patrick, I was saying that they're saying that this is a new report coming out from the Fox 45 News in reference to the Department of Juvenile Services, and one of their staff members had tested positive, and that the Department of Juvenile Services out at the Lower Eastern Shore Children's Center in Salisbury have decided to take measures to prevent any further risk. So
what are they doing? Are they letting the kids out?
No, they're quarantining the kids that may have been exposed to the possible staff member who had tested positive. And they're requiring the rest of the staff as well as the children to wear masks.
Wow.
So now I saw something just recently on Facebook. It was a Spanish guy was testing the mask that everyone is wearing. And he was using an aerosol can. Yeah. And he was spraying the aerosol, and you could see the mist coming through the mask, which kind of makes you think, how effective could some of this stuff really be?
Well, which ones didn't? It didn't come through. Those were the paper ones with the...
I think majority of the ones he was spraying, it came through.
I don't have any power here.
Huh?
Can you hear me?
Oh, your earphones?
Yeah, I can't hear anything.
Well, you really don't need the earphones because we're talking. That's only for the phone system.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I don't need the earphones.
No, not the earphones. But your mic is on, though. I can see your mic is on.
Okay.
So.
Well, here's a caller. Hi, Bubby. Hello? Yeah. Great show. Thank you.
I'm over here at Newton. We serve food. But just to let you know, every housing authority development got food for 7 days for each public housing resident. 7 days.
Have Bubby call me and we can bring him on.
Bubby, call Jason at...
You have my number? I'll call him. What's his number?
Okay. All right. We're going to call you right now and put you on the air.
What's the number?
His number is, let me see here. Get out of here, Patrick. Come on. Home. Recents. His number is 443-435-2782.
I'm sorry.
443-435-2782.
All right, and bring me your headphones there so I can turn it back on for you.
Okay.
So I hear Bubby's ringing now.
Hello?
Hand me your box first.
Okay.
Hey
Hello?
Bubby, you hear us?
Yes, I hear y'all.
Okay, all right, hold on. You're live with us on our Facebook feed, and hold on, Patrick's putting the headphones in now.
Okay.
So he can hear you.
Okay, are we live? We live on Facebook?
Yeah, we're live on Facebook.
All right, everybody listen up. Bubba is giving some information, especially to our people. Y'all need to call your folks that are living in the housing projects and let them know what's going on. Go ahead, Bubby.
According to Mayor Jack Young
and
the president and the CEO of the Baltimore City Housing Authority, all housing developments have an area, a room where they serve food at for all the housing residents. All the housing developments have a designated area inside of public housing where they serve food to the residents.
Wow.
The one in Sandtown, Winchester, is the Job Plus, located in 16 something Vincent Court.
Okay. Did y'all hear that? Repeat that again. All housing projects.
All housing developments. All housing developments have a designated area where they are serving the residents food.
Okay.
According to the mayor and the president and CEO of the Baltimore City Housing Authority, Janet Abrams.
Okay. All right. That's good news. That's great news. And when did this just come? Did this just being announced?
No, this has been going on since school shut down.
What?
And saying yes. I personally saw a line of people receiving food from the office in the 1600 court of Vincent Court called Job Plus. And also, Sandtown, Winchester Achievement Academy are serving food Monday through Friday to the kids out of school. New Song Community Church, with a partnership with Biddle Street Caters and Safe Street, is serving food in Sandtown, Winchester.
What, new psalmist or new psalm? I don't understand. What are you saying there?
New Song, S-O-N-G, New Song, located on the 1500 block of Pressman Street.
Oh, New Song, S-O-N-G, New Song. And give that address again.
Say again?
Give that address again.
1500 Pressman. You can't miss it. It's a brand new school building at the 1500 block of Pressman.
Okay,
Pressman and Gilmore.
Okay.
Up from the closed Gilmore Elementary School.
Oh, wow. Okay, wow. Did y'all hear that? Listen, people are complaining because they're saying they're not hearing enough what's going on in the community on WOLB because a lot of the shows are off the air. So you need to share this.
Yeah,
y'all,
that's true.
You need to share.
That's true.
Y'all need to share this video of today's show so people can get vital information. And we're going to relabel this and make people know when we share it. And spread the word around that you can get the information here at Patrick Henderson's Meet the People.
We're going to try to do this on a more regular basis.
Yes.
To try to make sure that we're providing.
Yeah, exactly. And we can do it here from my house. We're still 10 people are still watching us. Y'all share the word. Bubby, give that one more time. That is so vital because as Doc is saying, there are people there feel so helpless. But there is
one location is Gold in Calhoun. That's the Sandtown Achievement Academy, a public school. Okay. They are serving food Monday through Friday. Okay. Another location is Vincent Court, the Job Plus in Gilmore Homes. They are serving food Monday through Friday. And I'm quite sure with the elementary school, Gilmore Achievement Academy, on Friday you get enough enough food to hold you to Monday. And also, I seen the National Guard last week at Lillian Jones Recreation Center giving food out at 1310 North Stricker Street. Wow. Also, New Song Community School in a partnership with Safe Street and Biddle Street Catered are serving catered meals.
Okay.
I'm watching the people walk up and down the street with the blue and white cater bag.
Wow. That's good news. That's good news. And of course, they're using all the safety precautions there.
Yes, the senior citizens can call and the food will be dropped off.
Wow.
They can send somebody and say they're a senior citizen, and the people at New Song got cars that they filling up with lunches, taken to the senior citizens in the community that have noted that they need some food.
The name of it
and they
is...
have people... It's New Song. That's the school where it's being served. But the people doing it are Biddle Street Caterers and Safe Street Sandtown.
Okay. All right.
But they go Monday through Friday. They don't do Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
But the school, Sandtown Achievement Academy, on Friday, you get enough food to hold you till Monday. Also, Vincent Court, which is in Gilmore Homes. It's a job plus a big sign. It's a brand new building there by the mechanical room. They are giving out brown bags. They was last week. I haven't been around there today because I'm at New Song helping out here.
Oh,
but those three areas I know for a fact are giving out food.
Wow.
And there's so many people like Toy Rose, her up in the Roosevelt Hill White Lock area. They're doing so much. We are trying, but again, when you're coming out your own pocket to do a lot of these things, it's not like we have a lot, but we're going to make sure the people get as much as we can.
Yes, well, bless you, Brother Bubba. You're always there on the forefront, at the forefront.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
We thank you.
Y'all
so
be
much.
safe.
You too.
All right, brother. If anybody wants to call in, they can. We'll probably go for about another few minutes, at least till 1:30, Patrick. If anybody wants to call in, maybe they know of a food giveaway or a food drive or any resources.
Give them the number to call, Jay.
The number they can call is 443-682-5586. Again, the number is 443-682-5586. And my mic was off. I'm sorry. I'm going to say that again. Okay. So we'll probably go to 1:30, family. If anybody wants to share any information as far as any resources that are out there, please get in contact with us right now. Maybe there's a food giveaway, a food drive. Maybe there are some resources for seniors out there or resources for the children. Give us a call right now, 443-682-5586. Again, the number is 443-682-5586. And as we're waiting to see if anyone is going to call in, so I was telling you about the juvenile facility that has tested positive and the precautionary measures that they are implementing to try to prevent further spread. We talked about, family, also as well, the Baltimore City Police Department and the Southwestern District being closed up. We also talked about I made a reference to the Baltimore City Central Bookings looking at releasing inmates as well, low-level offenders as well,
nonviolent
and nonviolent.
But then they got to be careful there because they got the virus down there. So when they come home, y'all gonna be glad to see them. But y'all listen, say hey, wave at them and put them in a room for 7 days. They're saying to see if they got any symptoms. And don't go in that room. Slide some food under the door, but do not act like they're clean. They don't know whether they're clean or not. They have no symptoms. Do not, again, I repeat, even though they're coming home and you're happy to see them, you need to limit the amount of contact that you have with them. Hopefully you have a space that you can put them in for at least, is it 7 days, Jason?
Well, they're actually saying 2 weeks, so most of the quarantines are 2 weeks.
2-week quarantine. Y'all need to take this seriously. I know you're going to be happy to see them and everything, and the girlfriend's going to be coming in there trying to catch up. Y'all need to use some brains here. Be careful. I'm telling you, because they don't know. Because I bet you they didn't check them before they left.
You're still talking into your phone.
Oh, I'm sorry. I bet they didn't check them before they left. Jay, what do you think?
Yeah, and Lamitra, call us if you can too as well, because I know you're more the medical professional, but I know that most folks, when they quarantine, they're asking them to do it for 2 weeks. What's interesting is I was telling you that this is the issue that they're running into in New York with the hospitals.
Right.
So what they're doing is they're working the doctors and nurses in 2-week periods. So they're working them for 2 weeks straight within the facilities, and then they're making them go home and quarantine for 2 weeks.
Really?
And then they're cycling them out with new nurses and doctors that have been quarantined for 2 weeks
that's
already.
smart. Yeah.
Right. But the problem is, though, that's why they've been asking for
People
those
from
who
all
have been
over the
retired.
nation.
Well, those who have been retired may no longer be in the medical profession, may not even be licensed anymore to come back because they don't have enough healthcare workers to do that cycling, of folks, where self-quarantine for 2 weeks and then cycling new healthcare workers in. So they don't have enough healthcare workers to do that. So they're asking folks who may have been in the medical field, who may not necessarily be registered in that state, to come to New York so that they can help with the cycling.
And Cuomo said he's going to pay you good. So he says we're going to pay you good to do it.
Yeah.
I love this guy. How I wish he was the president. I'll give the number again, Jason.
The number is 443-682-5586. Again, if you know of any services that may be going on or any resources that may be available to the community, you can call in.
One thing I'm seeing on my Facebook timeline is people are reposting. There's this Ohio Democrat who is contending that Trump wants Trump prosecuted for crimes against humanity. Okay, because he knew this in January. And then to add insult to injury, he said, 3 tons of medical equipment and ventilators and PPEs, that's the protection gear, to China, where the virus then came on TV and bashed China. Now people from China or Asians are being beaten up and terrorized by people. So this guy, there's something wrong. Why don't we just admit there's something wrong with him?
And then he was blasting 3M, and I was watching Fox Business the other day, and the CEO of 3M said, this is not our issue, why we're short. He said, we already were at, capacity from the beginning. And what the president is requiring them to do is to pull sources from other plants. So they have plants in every country. In Canada, they have a plant. Overseas, they have a plant. So what they're saying is because they are an American company, he wants them to pull the medical supplies that 3M is building, like the filters or
ventilators.
Producing, no, not the ventilators, the masks.
Mask, okay.
Right, because they sell the masks that are the masks that
N9s,
are needed.
yes.
Right, the ones that are needed for
the
medical field, right. And so, but the CEO was saying that that's not fair to these other countries that, that they have these plants in, because they have an obligation to them as well. So they have an obligation to these countries that they are already producing from. But what the president is trying to do is force them to export all of the masks that they're developing and creating in these other countries, and then import them here to the United States.
After we sent all those to China, now he wants them
Well, see, that's a whole different shipment. That wasn't, so 3M has, according to the CEO, they have plants all over the world. And these plants are building and developing masks locally. It just makes sense for them not to, just build masks here, but to make masks in every country. So they have plants in every country. What the president was doing was blasting them, saying that they weren't producing enough masks and that they were exporting masks out of the U.S. to other countries, and in some cases to the highest bidder. And 3M said, no, that's not the case, that we've never sold masks to the highest bidder, that we would never do anything like that. And what the president is trying to do is trying to jeopardize other countries, is trying to hurt other countries where we develop the mask at, that we have plants, manufacturing plants at, by forcing us to export those masks from those countries back to the U.S., which is not fair to those healthcare providers in those other countries that they have agreements with already.
Christopher McCoy says one Ohio Democrat wants Trump prosecuted for crimes against humanity. Christopher McCoy says one of the reasons he is stacking the courts with right-wing judges is that he is trying to protect himself and his family from prosecution after he leaves office.
Right, but that's federally.
Yeah, the main
I don't
thing
think that would help
we have
him.
to do is get this devil out of office in November. Amen.
Right. And I don't think that would help him though statewide, because from what I understand, there's several state attorney generals that are waiting for his behind, to step off of Air Force One or the helicopter, the Marine One helicopter, so they can prosecute and lock his behind up, once his last day in office. So, which there's also been some rumors of folks saying that that's why they allowed things to kind of permeate the way that they did. Because in some cases, if we'd had a nip on it earlier, we wouldn't have had things like, for instance, Baltimore City extending the election out to June. And if things continue to permeate the way that they are, there's a possibility that they may be looking at, trying to move the election from November on out even further into next year, because they are going to say, well, we don't want to risk the public. We're still seeing, high rates of, exposure. We're still seeing cities, reporting numbers of COVID-19 cases. So we don't want to hold the election in November. So some folks are believing that this is a ploy or a plot to have the election, the presidential election, kicked down the road under President Trump's watch.
Right. That's the reason I believe everybody should order an absentee ballot right now. Start ordering them now and fill them out now. And whatever you do, don't vote for no Republicans to do nothing. What's that guy down there, that Republican down there on the Eastern Shore? I hear that the people are turning against him now.
On the Eastern Shore?
On the Eastern Shore. What's his name?
You're talking about the mayor of?
No, the state, the federal representative. What's his name?
You're talking about Dutch, is it? Is it
Not
Dutch?
Dutch Ruppersberger. No,
Okay,
it's that
another
other
one?
one that when he first won the election, he wanted to know where his health insurance was, but then he voted against Obamacare. I can't think of his name, but the people are turning against him because you see what's happening. It got out that Trump was trying to kill Obamacare. Okay? So now he's saying, oh, no, I'm not doing that. He is doing that. If he wasn't doing it, he would drop the case that he has before the courts to do it. He is trying to kill it. He is trying. We're 20 million people. And we want to thank Governor Hogan right now because in the state of Maryland, you can still register for Obamacare right now. And all of you all who don't have Social Security or Medicare, you need to go do that, because they won't be able to charge you for the test and they won't be able to charge you for treating you if you have the virus. So where do they go, to marylandstate.gov or federal?
Yeah, it's to, I believe I got to pull it back up. I believe it was the marylandhealth.gov.
Marylandhealth.gov.
Let me double check it. And while we're talking about that, Patrick, we explained to folks yesterday on Sunday's show that if you have lost insurance because of your employer, that you do have the ability to get insurance off of the exchange, even though you may be unemployed, because there's some workers that have their insurance through their employer, it's subsidized through their employer, or is provided by their employer, and they may be furloughed or laid off currently, and that may unfortunately have lost their insurance coverage in the process. They are eligible, from what I understand, to be able to pick up insurance off of the exchange.
And you want to get insurance. Some guy went in for the test, right, and they treated him and they gave him a $70,000 bill. You don't have that money. You all get your kids to help with the computers if you don't know what you're doing, but get some insurance, because we don't know how long this is going to be going on, and we don't know how deadly it's going to be. But you might need medical care that you don't have money to even make the co-pays. So go to, what was it, Maryland?
It's marylandhealthconnection.gov.
marylandhealthconnection.gov.
marylandhealthconnection.gov. And that'll allow you to be able to file information in reference to trying to get insurance off of the exchange. And because you may be currently unemployed, that may help you as well, because you may be eligible for subsidies and get your insurance picked up and paid for. May not be the same insurance that you had with your employer, especially if you were a state or a federal worker, but at least you'll have some sort of insurance. And then we also know that We'll still have to see at the end of the day what happens, but we know that President Trump did say that the hospitals would be compensated in reference to any COVID-19 related health treatments. So that should not fall on someone who is non-insured. The hospitals have been guaranteed
I
to
know,
be
but
able
you know,
to
some
take care
of
of
us
that.
are just we're afraid to ask. They're not gonna do nothing. You got to try, you all.
Yeah.
You got to try. If you're not computer savvy, if you got neighbors or you got somebody that you know can help you do it, you can do it over the phone. They don't even have to come to your house.
Yeah.
They can tell you what to do to get registered. Okay, now our seniors, especially because many of them are not computer savvy. But get your little grandson, your little granddaughter. They'll be able to help you. Get family to help you do this. Don't sit there and suffer needlessly because you don't know how to operate the computer. Don't do that. Please don't do that. And give that name again for the
MarylandHealthConnection.gov.
MarylandHealthConnection.gov. Go on there. You can register to get Obamacare and other things that you might need, you all. Well, Jason.
Is it Andy Harris? Was that
yes,
it?
Andy Harris.
Andy Harris. So,
yeah.
Right. So Representative Andy Harris.
Yeah.
So that was the one you were talking about.
Yeah, that's exactly the one I'm talking about.
I was trying to find it for you.
Yeah. No, they found it standing up against them, the rednecks down there.
Right.
Because they realized that this guy has no concern for them at all.
And then we were, I didn't read the article in reference to it, but this was coming from the Associated Press, which was released on Fox 45 News. Dozens released from Baltimore jails and prisons. It says dozens of inmates have been released from jails and prisons in Baltimore in the past 2 weeks during new or accelerated bail hearings. The actions come as judiciary leaders nationwide decide whether lowering jail populations would blunt the spread of COVID-19. It says those freed in Baltimore were considered by prosecutors to be low-risk offenders and would not pose a public safety threat. Maryland health officials have reported more than 3,100 positive cases of COVID-19 and at least 76 deaths as of Sunday. Now, this article was released on Saturday, so we know that the numbers have jumped up since then. It says that there are at least 17 confirmed COVID-19 cases within the Department of Public Safety and Correctional Services. So I was right. I was saying to our listeners that there were some reported cases in the Maryland Correctional Facility.
Right.
From what I understand, nothing locally. According here, it says Maryland confirmed COVID cases within its state facilities include inmates, staff, correctional officers, and parole and probation employees from Jessup, Baltimore, meaning Baltimore County, and Hagerstown, because it didn't say Baltimore City. It didn't distinguish.
Wow. Okay.
Right. So, and it says we have inmates who have tested positive. We have almost 30 inmates that have been isolated and quarantined, according to a correctional officer spokesperson. We have a couple of officers that are beginning to test positive as we speak right now. So, and that was as of Saturday's report. As of Sunday's report. So this was released by the Associated Press on Sunday. So, and all I could say is, as we kind of wrap things up, folks, we need to take this serious. I saw that the church decided to hold service again on Sunday.
The same church.
The same church.
They didn't shut him down, though, right?
I didn't see anything with them shutting them down, but I did hear that they had the police and the fire department stationed outside of his church. But I didn't see anything in reference to it. I'm gonna look it up right now before we leave. But I would say that it's. I know that a lot of churches still want to open. And I know that a lot of churches are struggling to try to figure out a way to hold service, but it should not be at the risk of your members, of your congregation. What was the saying you were saying yesterday in reference to that from the Bible?
the Bible says to give to Caesar what is Caesar's, and to give to God what is God. And then it goes on to say we must respect those who have authority over us. People got upset with me talking about, when they had us enslaved and we did that. Man, this is a whole different thing. That this stuff, enslavement could have killed us, but this here could wipe out our whole family.
Correct.
For generations to come.
And they did release an article on, as of this morning, says Baltimore pastor refuses to close doors amidst governor's stay-at-home order. So, and it says here, as we enter the Holy Week for Christians, which we know Sunday was Palm Sunday, and I saw that, there were a lot of other churches that did some unique and different ways of celebrating Palm Sunday. So I saw that one church was giving palms away in plastic Ziplocs.
Yeah, that's what we did.
Yeah,
that's what we did.
Yep.
But we did it on Saturday, so people could just drive through, no touching them.
Right.
Hand them that. We gave them the communion, which is going to be on the first Sunday at Good Tidings Baptist Church. For those of you that would tune in to Good Tidings Baptist Church, but we have such a good pastor. Had the communion cup in there, had the palm thing, and they had some
in the plastic bag.
In a plastic bag, some readings in there, and some piece of candy.
Okay.
So, Pastor Mark Wainwright, we bless you and we thank you.
And that's what pastors should be doing. Yes. And I've watched churches that are doing everything from conference calling to being able to go online and watch the service
with a few people.
The pastor, the pastor and a few people in the church. If you want to, you can go to wolbbaltimore.com. I did list the churches as well as they are linked to the churches, whether it's a website, whether it's their Facebook page, where they're holding their services. There's about 40 some odd churches that I did list. I got the information off of CBS News, off of WJZ News. They shared all the links to all the churches within the area, and many of the mega churches and churches within Baltimore City are listed in there. So if your church is not on there, there is a way that you can get in contact with me and email me so that we can make sure that your church's service is on there. But these are the things, to me, that are responsible, that makes sense and are not putting your congregation at risk. And it says here, so again, as we enter the Holy Week for Christians, churches across the state are holding virtual service because of the corona pandemic. One pastor in the Northeast Baltimore is refusing to close his doors amidst the governor's mandatory stay-at-home order. For the second Sunday morning in a row, police were outside Friendship Baptist Church. Reverend Alvin Gwynn Sr. is keeping his church open. He said, I arranged my service structure so I could accommodate a lot of people. He says it's more of a procession that a sit down is more of a procession than a sit down service. People come in 4 or 5 at a time. They're getting their palms and they're exiting the side door. The only issue that I had with this, and even though I know he said that they were using precaution, they had sanitizer in the church, and when he was holding service, when this first came about, he said that folks were practicing social distancing and staying 6 feet away from each other. The only thing that I have an issue with this is that recently reports have come out that folks may catch the COVID-19 virus just by exposing themselves to someone who has it.
Right, in the air.
Right, and we talked about it yesterday that, when you talk, there is a certain moisture that comes out of your lungs.
What they say, 6 feet distance?
Right, so 6 feet distance, but they're even now saying that they're recommending that folks wear a mask just in general.
Right.
Because you could easily talk to someone that doesn't necessarily give you the droplets, so they're not sneezing or coughing, but because of the vapors, the moisture, that comes out of someone's lungs as they are talking, that the COVID could easily be within that mist, can easily be within that breath.
Exactly.
And
as of tomorrow, do not leave home for bread, for anything, because the worst begins tomorrow as the incubation date is met and many people that are positive with the virus start to peak. It's at this time other people are most vulnerable, so it's very important to stay home and not to be in contact with anybody, even members of your family. If possible, being very careful is very important and very crucial at this time. As from tomorrow, we're going to see the start of a peak of these, those that are positive. Then there will be 2 weeks of calm and then 2 weeks where it decreases. What happened in Italy is that they neglected the contagion period, and that is why all the cases turned out to gather so badly. Plus, they didn't know what they were dealing with. And finally, please do not receive visits from anyone, not even from the same family. This is all for the good of all. We will be in the maximum stage of infection. Do not hold this message. I'm telling y'all, if your children are coming home from jail, put them in a room, lock them in a room. If they didn't tell them they were free, they had no virus before they left, you just can't be safe enough, y'all.
The positive thing, though, out of that, because you mentioned Italy, was that Italy has reported its first drop in reports within a 24-hour
after they did
period.
This, stay at home.
Right, and what's also interesting is that New York as well, they were seeing increase in deaths. New York has now seen a drop in deaths for the first time. So some of the measures that are in place, I know that they're using the Javits Center. They have the medical ship that's out there now. Of course, they're quarantining people.
Madison Square Garden, I think they're using.
And they're also, I told you, they're doing the rotation of healthcare providers, isolating them for 12 weeks, bringing in those who have been quarantined prior to for 2 weeks, bringing them in and switching them out for a fresh batch of medical healthcare workers. So it's obvious that some of their efforts are starting to work in New York. But again, we still have other cases being reported throughout the country. And there are some areas that unfortunately had put themselves at risk and didn't know that they had put themselves in risk. And like, for instance, New Orleans. You know, they had Mardi Gras. They didn't realize at the time, you know, what was going on. And they're seeing that a lot of folks that may have...
it's third in line now for infections.
Yeah. And it's unfortunately, but...
but they, you know, Jason, that whoever's in charge, they should have known better than that. What they were trying to do was get those businesses over a little hump. Because they would have suffered. I don't care what nobody say. It was all about business to have let that go on, considering what's been happening in the rest of the world, you know, for them to see that this is a bad example.
Right. And then you talking about, you know, that this is business. You know, I'm looking at an article right now from CNN International that's talking about how the very rich are different in the COVID-19 fight. And that was something that Delegate Nick Mosby had brought up in reference to the state of Maryland. And folks were saying, you know, that he was making a racist statement in reference to he wanted to know the exposure, the difference between those in the African American community versus those in the white community.
Yeah.
And, you know, because in many cases, and you asked me yesterday on our show yesterday, you had asked me, well, why do you feel, you know, that the cases are reported differently, or there may be difference in, you know, the disparity of cases? And I told you that a lot of it has to do with access. You know, and how we even utilize healthcare access. In some cases, I told you, I know a lot of folks that have gotten their insurance off of the exchange, but they only use the insurance to go to the doctor when they schedule an appointment.
Right.
Or they go to the emergency room, or they go to the hospital.
Instead of having
a primary care, or having a physician that they can call on to all the time. Majority of them do not have a primary care doctor or a physician that they can call in. And that's really the first line of defense, is when you feel sick and you have symptoms, you shouldn't be going to the emergency room, or you shouldn't be going to the doctor, you know, to the hospital. You should be calling your physician.
Right.
That's what's recommended, and getting instructions from there.
Check this out. This just came from the mayor's office. Beginning this week, the Mayor's Office of Homeless Services will begin to relocate vulnerable homeless residents over the age of 62 from the city's 3 emergency shelters to motels. Mayor Young issued the following statement. The effort allows our neighbors who are experiencing homelessness to isolate safely while allowing our team to help monitor their health. On March 20th, the city began transporting and supporting homeless individuals who were tested for the COVID virus and awaiting test results to a motel for isolation. Since that time, 56 individuals who were homeless or living in congregate settings have served in this isolation location. This week, 150 but healthy individuals from the city's 3 emergency shelters will be moved to motels. In addition, remaining residents currently sheltering at the Monument Street Shelter will be relocated to a larger and more suitable location to allow for social distancing. We are relocating homeless individuals that are over the ages of 62 and residing in city shelters to motel rooms in order to help protect them from the COVID-19. We continue to work with our nonprofit partners, so all the young folks that get involved, they can just die, huh? I'm a little concerned about this, but I suppose it's good for those that are older.
Well, I mean, originally the conversation was let the old people die; they live their lives. Remember that conversation, you know?
Right.
So
it seems a little indicative of that, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, at least he's trying, I guess. I think that he should have made it for any homeless people. Yeah. Because there are people that are younger. There are women out there that have got children that are homeless.
Yeah. And they're most at risk. And what's interesting is I had a chance to speak to Christina Flowers, who said that that the homeless advocates from the city, the workers from the city, aren't allowed to go out to some of these areas. Wow. So they're not allowed to go like to the homeless encampment in Poteet Street because they don't want to put those workers at risk. Wow. So the city doesn't want to be liable for putting them at risk for going out there. Kind of almost like the same thing that's going on around the station. They don't want folks to come in to do their shows live. And that's why we're here today doing the show at your home because they don't want folks to come in who are infected and then they be liable for getting other people infected or spreading the COVID.
It makes sense.
It makes sense.
It makes sense. But Mr. Mayor, you need to do something about the young people. And especially about the women and children. Yeah. Those are the ones where they should also be protected and given a motel and a safe room, especially with the weather fluctuating like this. Yeah. You know what I mean? It would be helpful. But we thank you, Mr. Mayor, for what you've done. This is good.
And I'm looking around the country, and I'm seeing, we have to really take this seriously. Pennsylvania has just reported 1,470 new cases. As of Monday, they now have a total of 12,980 confirmed COVID-19 cases in the state of Pennsylvania. Kansas City has saw an uptick as well, according to the reports. It says
that's a red state. That governor decided that it was a hoax. Now his place is state is being inundated with how many cases they got?
845 cases have been confirmed. They've jumped nearly 100 overnight, according to the news reports coming out of Kansas. We're seeing it all over the country. Iowa has 78 new reported cases, three more deaths reported in Iowa.
Red state.
And it says that there are currently 99 currently hospitalized with the coronavirus, and they are reporting that 284 patients have recovered. And it's interesting that all the health departments, by the way, in many of these states are creating a map or creating a reporting system. So they actually have a database where you can go on their health departments websites, and they're showing the number of cases based on the counties in those states. So it's really interesting to see that all the states have health departments have created this system for reporting and keeping the community aware. South Dakota says that they're up 70% in reported coronavirus.
That's another red state for you all. Their governors was calling this a hoax. 70%?
They said it's up 70%.
Wow.
West Virginia, as of today, reported 21 new positive cases, and they have 4 deaths. Oregon now has more than 1,000 cases of COVID-19. So this is a serious family.
I was kind of surprised that Oregon hadn't been hit and Seattle, Washington had been hit really hard. They're so close to each other.
I think a lot of it has to do with the travelers.
That's what I was thinking.
And I'm pretty sure that in some ways there's probably a lot of folks that are going, especially if they're in technology. That's why San Francisco got hit so heavily, because those are high tech areas or high tech communities where they may be going back and forth to China on a regular basis or going to that region on a regular basis to deal with, the high tech
Is
sector.
the density in Silicon Valley, are those buildings right close to each other? They're not that close, but the people work in those, they don't even have walls.
Well, they do work, they work in huge facilities. I mean,
but
Google
with no
is huge.
walls and no separation.
Correct.
Yeah,
correct.
okay.
But I think though a lot of it again has to do with the amount of traveling that takes place. There's a lot of international flights that leave from Washington and from California that are dealing business throughout Asia. And I think that some of that has to do with it as well. Just somebody recently, a celebrity was saying that they had got on a plane and it turns out that they had tested positive for COVID. And they said that they were on a plane where they had diagnosed a woman later on was on that plane. So they had contacted everybody on that plane to let them know that this woman, had traveled in this plane. So they were within this confined space. So, there's been a lot of cases that I saw that were showing up in reference to folks that were frequent travelers or, traveled on planes quite often. It says right here, so we finally have reached our million mark worldwide. So it says the number of COVID-19 around the world rose to 1.29 million on Monday. So we finally hit our 1 million mark, while the numbers of fatalities rose to 70,798, according to the data from Johns Hopkins Whiting School of Engineering Center for System Science and Engineering. It says at least 271,000 people around the world have recovered from the novel coronavirus that have sickened people in more than 184 countries. The U.S. still has the most number of worldwide cases. We are currently at, according to the data, 338,995 confirmed cases in the United States, and at least 9,683 deaths have been reported.
How many?
9,683 deaths have been reported. So, and we finally hit our 1 million mark worldwide.
Yeah, the top 10,000 people have died, right, from it. Well, all right, you all. They're saying that the stimulus package, some people are not going to get a check until August. I'm trying to find the article. There's so much advertising on these things. These people are just cleaning up that you can't even find the news on them. They come with the headline and the rest is advertising. So
and I'm surprised though, because there's not really a lot of advertising going on. We talked about it, that there's not a lot of advertising going on because there's not a lot of consumerism going on. People are not going to go out and buy a new dress.
No, but they'll order it.
Yeah.
See.
Pajamas.
They ain't got to be a new dress.
Oh, we have pajamas.
Yeah.
But you're not going to the
shoes.
hairdresser.
Right.
You're not going to the nail salon. You know, the barber shops are closed.
Right.
You know, you're not going to go buy a new outfit just to walk around the house. You know, you may buy those items, like you said, pajamas and things for around the house. But I think, and I told you this, with that $1,200 that's going to come in, I think that it's not going to jump the economy like folks think it's going to jump the economy, because most folks are going to be looking at getting the necessities and if anything, holding on to as much cash as possible. So they're going to restock the toilet paper, the bread, the milk, the groceries in the house, so that they can keep themselves and the kids fed for the next month or the next 30 days, because we might be in this another 30 days. But I think that a lot of these families are not going to be looking at splurging money or, engaging in any type of consumerism, and going out there and spending money unwisely right now. And I think they're going to hold on to as much money as possible. I know one thing that hasn't really been brought up, and I see folks complaining about it everywhere online, is in reference to the egg prices. So everyone's saying that a dozen of eggs are up to $5. A 18 pack of eggs are not the the 24, the little square carton is up to, I believe, almost $8. So I think that's something that they haven't talked about.
I know you can get them at Aldi's. You can get a dozen for like $1.18.
So then why are there some stores? See, and that's what we're talking about, price gouging.
Yeah.
Why are there some stores? And folks, if you do see price gouging out there, the Maryland Attorney General Brian Frosh has said to get in contact with his office. If you think that something is suspicious in relations to those egg prices, because I saw somebody the other day posting a Facebook feed, and they were going through the stores and they were Facebook living the egg prices and talking about we were going to starve in the process because we can't afford to eat. That's one particular item that I see that has raised up is eggs. I haven't seen bread or anything else necessarily go up, or toilet paper or any other items. But
I can't even find toilet paper. Have you been able to find any?
No, but it's a good thing. See, and I'll have to bring you a couple of rolls then, because it's a good thing that we had like the big 36 roll thing, that we had bought, prior to all this happening. So we haven't gone through 36. The hardest thing that we've had was bread. And I've actually had folks that had given us bread, or like because a lot of times you have to get in there first thing in the morning, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock when the supermarket first opens up. As soon as that bread is in there, you have people buying 4 or 5 loaves. You can freeze bread, you can freeze milk. You can't freeze eggs. So I'm not exactly sure why egg prices have jumped up, but folks
probably
have been
distribution, collecting them and getting them on a truck and getting them to it. That's what's probably. You don't think so?
But see, if that is the case, then that should still. I don't see why that would jump them up that high. Again, you said that said that Aldi's has them for $1 and some change, almost $2. But we're talking about for a dozen, five. It was like $5 and like.
They can't say that it's because of fuel prices. That jack the price up, so there is no excuse.
Down.
I think I need to buy my ticket home for the holidays now, because you could probably fly pretty cheaply. Anywhere you want to go.
Only thing is catching flights, because flights are limited now.
Right.
That's the whole thing. There's not as many flights as there were before, and I remember reading a story that Southwest and United and some of these airline companies actually took their planes out to the desert.
And
parked them out in the desert because there's not enough terminal space. There's not enough hangars, maintenance hangars. There's not enough area for them to store these planes. Normally, you have hundreds of planes flying around at one time, so they don't need to be stationed, all together when they're down. But now that there's some downtime for hundreds of planes, there's just no place to necessarily put them. And then I don't think that if you've bought a ticket right now, Patrick, you would not be able to get a ticket, because it would have to be essential travel. So there's only essential travel that's taking place right now. So you cannot take a plane for personal. So if you're just going home to visit family members, that wouldn't be considered essential travel.
It wouldn't be considered.
No, that would not be considered. Going to see now, if you had children you left at home and you were unable to get home, because you got stuck during the first melee of all this.
Okay.
I could see them probably honoring you a ticket and allowing you to go home. But if you're just going to just visit or just, going on vacation or something like that, at this time, you would not be able to fly.
All right, you
because
all.
it's essential
Thank you
travel.
all. We've gone for a full 2 hours. You kind of get an idea what it would be like if we had a full 2 hours. I want to thank Jason Rodriguez for not only setting this up. We apologize for all the technical difficulties, but now we see how to do it. So we're ready to roll, and we will see you all next Monday at 11:30 here on WLB 1010 Baltimore and Facebook Live. Want to thank Doc Marvin Cheatham and Lamitra Henderson Parker and Richard Terry, who are our co-anchors. And welcome home, Richard. I've got quite a few people saying, Irene especially, was just so excited to hear your voice. So people did miss you, as I told you they did. So want you to know that. And for all of you out there, remember, our family's going to be coming home, some of them from jail. But remember, this is not normal. You got to isolate them. Don't let the children or even their children, just let them wave at them and let them go into quarantine until they can see that they're okay. Otherwise, they could destroy the whole family. I know it's hard, but it's just the truth. God bless you all. You've been listening to Patrick Henderson Meet the People. God bless. Have a great week and be safe.
And give me 2 seconds here.